Tragedy in Uttara, Bangladesh Air Force jet crashes into school, claiming 20 lives. Dhaka, July 21, 2025. A routine training flight turned into a catastrophic tragedy this afternoon when a Bangladesh Air Force BAF Chengdu F-7BGI training jet crashed into the Milestone School and College campus in Uttara, Dhaka. The aircraft suffered a sudden technical failure shortly after taking off from Kermidul Asbir Uttam K. Kandkar Air Force Base. In the aftermath, at least 20 people, including the pilot and numerous schoolchildren, lost their lives, while upwards of 170 others sustained injuries, many serious. The nation is in mourning. 1 o'clock flight timeline and crash details. Takeoff. At approximately 1:06 p.m. local time, the F-7BGI departed Kermidula for what was described as a standard training sortie. Mechanical failure. Mere seconds into the flight, the aircraft reportedly suffered a sudden technical malfunction. Final moments. Flight Lieutenant Tukir Islam Sagar, piloting the jet, attempted to steer the stricken aircraft away from dense residential zones. Video and eyewitness accounts describe him avoiding densely packed areas before the jet descended uncontrollably into a two-story building on campus. Round pushpin impact site and immediate effects. The aircraft struck near the main gate of the campus's Block 7, home to junior students. The crash resulted in a massive explosion and fireball that engulfed part of the structure, penetrating through one side and exiting the other, leaving a gaping hole in the facade. Eyewitnesses recount horrifying scenes. When I was picking up my kids and went to the gate, I realized something came from behind. I heard an explosion. When I looked back, I only saw fire and smoke. Emergency teams, comprising firefighters, army personnel, police, Rapid Action Battalion (RAB), and border guards, swiftly converged on the site. Fire engines doused the blaze, while rescue crews worked feverishly to evacuate survivors. Man pilot. The pilot, Flight Lieutenant Tukir Islam Sagar, a rising talent from the 76th BAFA Course of No. 35 Squadron, was at the controls when disaster struck. Reports state he did not eject, likely due to dangerously low altitude, and instead guided the jet away from a school field and denser residential areas. Despite being airlifted to Dhaka's Combined Military Hospital (CMH), he succumbed to his injuries hours later, as announced by the Inter-Services Public Relations (ISPR) Directorate. His precise age remains undisclosed, but he is remembered for displayed bravery. Warning casualty figures. Fatalities. On board, the pilot was killed. On the ground, at least 19 schoolchildren and staff lost their lives. Among the deceased was a third-grade student. The total confirmed death toll stands at 20. Injured. Official reports indicate that 171 people were injured, primarily students, with roughly 20 in critical condition suffering severe burns. The injuries count varies across sources, 164 to 171, reflecting ongoing rescue efforts. Victims have been rushed to CMH, Dhaka Medical College, the National Burn and Plastic Surgery Institute, and several smaller clinics, supported by strategic medical coordination. Hospital rescue and emergency response. Within minutes, ambulances, fire tenders, helicopters, and Army engineering units united in crisis response. Remarkably, makeshift transport tools like rickshaws were also employed to shuttle survivors to medical facilities. Hospital sources report that many victims suffered deep burn injuries. More than a dozen are in critical condition. Doctors and nurses, some overwhelmed by the scale, are working around the clock to manage the influx. Graduation cap school and community impact. Milestone School and College, an institution serving nearly 2,000 students from nursery to grade 12, was conducting midday classes and scheduled exams at the time. Terrified students and parents witnessed the chaos. One 16-year-old student, Rafika Taha, spoke to the press in shock. I was terrified watching videos on TV. My God, it's my school. Teachers performing pickup duties were caught unprepared. The school campus, though sprawling, lacked clear buffer zones to shield critical buildings from nearby airstrips, raising questions about safety zoning and flight path planning. Black Flag National Mourning and official response. The government has declared July 22 a day of national mourning, with flags at half-mast to honor the victims. Muhammad Yunus, chief advisor to the interim government, expressed heartfelt condolences and termed the incident irreparable. He pledged comprehensive investigation and financial aid for families impacted. The Bangladesh Air Force has also launched a high-level inquiry into the crash. Lt. Colonel Sami Ud Dowla Chowdhury, ISPR Director, confirmed the formation of an investigative committee to uncover mechanical flaws, training gaps, or regulatory oversights. Airplane aircraft history. The F-7BGI. The F-7BGI, also known as the J-7BGI, is the most advanced variant of China's Chengdu aircraft series, domestic adaptation of the Soviet MiG-21. Bangladesh acquired 16 of these jets between 2011-2013. Equipped with upgraded avionics, multifunction displays, and radar systems, the jet is primarily used in training and limited air defense roles. While generally reliable, pilots have previously reported occasional engine misfires and control system issues. Details of past maintenance and inspection logs remain unreleased. Puzzle piece broader implications and discussion. This incident, the deadliest to strike Dhaka in recent aviation memory, has ignited nationwide concern about safety protocols surrounding military flight paths near civilian hubs. Urban sprawl is consuming former buffer zones, with flight routes now passing directly over public institutions like schools. Editorial voices are calling for urgent reforms. Many questioned the rationale for allowing Air Force training missions so close to residential areas in an overcrowded city. Even a minor error or technical failure can lead to catastrophic consequences. In the civil aviation sector, regulators are already undertaking audits of licensing, inspection, and emergency action plans. Similar military oversight is anticipated, with the BAF under pressure to enhance operational safeguards, revise standard operating procedures, and intensify simulator-based emergency training. Globe regional support and international response. Neighboring nations have expressed solidarity. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi offered condolences and announced readiness to extend medical and logistical support. Humanitarian groups and NGOs across South Asia have mobilized to donate medical supplies, blood, and counseling services to trauma-affected families. Magnifying glass. What happens next? Official investigation results are expected within weeks. Key focus areas include 1. Technical analysis, whether there was sudden engine failure, control system fault, or structural issue. 2. Flight path review, examining if the jet followed a safe trajectory post-failure and if terrain clearance protocols were followed. 3. Operational assessment, evaluating training curricula, decision-making frameworks, and maintenance cycles. Families are simultaneously coordinating legal representation and seeking insurance claims. Meanwhile, the BAF and Ministry of Defense have committed to transparent disclosure once the inquiry concludes. Dove final reflections. The courage of Flight Lieutenant Sagar in attempting to steer the doomed aircraft away from densely packed zones may have prevented even greater loss of life. Still, the incident highlights the need to reconsider live flight training protocols above urban centers, especially near schools. Today, as Dhaka mourns, attention shifts toward preventing similar tragedies. With national mourning underway and reforms pending, this incident may become a pivotal moment in the nation's dialogue on aviation safety.